Hey there! Bob Reyes, Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCG fam. That's good. Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it after the show right now. Let's just get into this. So, dry soil. Maybe you're getting to the end of your run and you're not watering as much. You're trying to lock in that goodness. Or maybe it's balls hot and you just forgot to water and the soil dried out. How does that affect the microbial life in the soil? Scott talked a little bit about that in the answer to a question like that I'm going to show you here in just a second. He also talked about ripening process, and it's a lot of good stuff. I think you'll find it interesting. I'd like you to watch it, and I'll talk to you after.
Okay. Stephen Mayo. Nays. It doesn't say that here. I'm using Nectar, number 4 soil, with Nectar nutrients. Is it going to damage the microbial field, letting the soil progressively dry out more between waterings in the last few weeks? I'm in a 3-gallon pot watering twice a day, doing feed one day, then feed tea the next day. I am using Chimera and 1 shot at the start of bloom. Is having it dry back and bloom harmful to the soil life with Nectar, or is keeping it the same moisture level as a new bag the whole plant cycle more beneficial? He's getting to the end and he's drying it out. Is that the core of this question? Is should I dry it out as I get to the end?
It looks, yeah. Or is it better to keep it moist the whole time?
Sure.
I dry out at the end, and so I think the big question here is, will it harm my microbes in my soil if I let it dry out too much too often? And really, most of the microbes are going to end up just going into hibernation in a sense, where they just kind of go into stasis and wait for hydration, and then they become active again. I can't keep my soil perfectly moist because I'm too lazy and I can't do it fast enough. So I've come into like bone dry plants quite regularly and still get them hydrated up nice, and the microbes still are doing their thing.
But you're not doing it on purpose. It's a no snap situation.
No, I'm stupid and I'm lazy some days.
But when you get to the end of the road, are you drying this out so that you get less moisture in the flowers so that you can?
Well, and I put them into a full blown. I mean, it's almost like making a plant panic to finish because it has no more moisture, so it's pulling the reserves out of the roots. It pulls the reserves out of the bottom foliage and starts relocating that moisture back up into the top of the plants. But when it's doing that, it's all in, well, it's not all in sugar form, but it's enhancing those flavors because it's pulling up all the sugars that photosynthesis had created and shoves those into the top of the fruit. So it won't harm your plant, and very rarely does it actually harm the potting soil. The worst case scenario is you top dress with a little worm castings to kind of revitalize it and get the bacteria in there and activate everything again. But as long as you're not bone drying, every single week throughout the entire cycle, you should be totally fine.
When it rains out in the desert and all those plants pop up, everything's been just, it's all in there still. It's just waiting for some water. It's dormant. So,
Okay. What do you think of that? Informative, entertaining, helpful, useful, agree, disagree, questions, comments, thoughts, anything? Throw it in the comments and we'll talk about it. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. The OCG Fam Show. Pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.